Am I the a-hole for telling my parents that they would not be a part of my life and that they should keep up their relationship with my ex and kids from that marriage? When I got divorced, my parents tried to get me not to go through with it. My ex, Sarah, is the daughter of their best friends. We had 2 kids that my parents adore. My parents tried everything to make me stay in that marriage. Sarah fought me on everything. I finally managed to escape and got what I considered to be a fair deal. No spousal support or child support. She kept the house, and we split our other assets. My parents said I was evil. They actually called me evil for walking away from a cheater and 2 kids that weren't biologically mine. I moved cities for my mental health. I started over. It sucked that I did this without support from my family. My parents pretty much poisoned my extended family against me. I have a job that I can do from anywhere, so I didn't even have to switch employers. My parents insisted on sending me pictures of the kids, so eventually I completely cut them off. I wasn't interested. I am still not interested now. Obviously, they chose to stay in their lives, so I needed them out of mine. It took months of blocking every attempt for them to catch a clue. I remarried 2 years after my divorce. My wife and I just had our first child. I don't know how, but my parents found out. They contacted me through a new phone number. They said that they wanted to meet their grandson. I said they already had 2 grandchildren and to leave my son out of their lives. They said they deserved to be in his life. I said no, and that if I had to get a lawyer involved, I would. I have no idea what is going on with Sarah and the kids. I don't care. I do know that for at least 6 months after the divorce, they were still heavily involved with her and the kids. My wife has my back, and her family understands my past. I never lied to them about why I'm out of contact with my family and my ex. Am I wrong for keeping them away from their first biological grandchild after they chose a non-biological one over me? Now for the top comments. Wait, did you just abandon your kids from your first marriage? Genuinely asking because I'm a little confused. I abandoned my ex-wife's biological children with her boyfriend the father, and my parents. Her boyfriend was part of my lawsuit for paternity fraud, so he is paying child support. A lawsuit for paternity? In the US, children born inside a marriage are legally of the marriage. You can't file a lawsuit for paternity. Where is this taking place? I suspect only in your imagination. I'm almost 100% sure that Florida is part of the United States. Courts can terminate future child support and, in some cases, order the mother to repay past support paid under false pretenses, as detailed in Florida Statute 742.18 and Florida Senate Bill 73 text. Remember when you choose my cheating and lying ex over me? Now I'm choosing to live my life without you. Don't call me again. Not the a-hole. Exactly. They aren't sad they lost a son. They're sad they lost access to a grandchild they view as a status symbol. They bet on the wrong horse, the cheating ex, and are now shocked the race is over. The audacity to think they can just toggle family mode back on is wild. Don't open the door to them. As of now, they can't do anything about grandparents' rights because you have no contact with them. Do not give them any wiggle room. Not the a-hole. Not the a-hole 100%. So wait, your ex cheated on you, passed both of her children as yours, kept the affair partner in the children's lives, and your parents called you evil? Unless your extended family are religious, there's no way any sane person would go after you if they knew that you were not only cheated on, but also had paternity fraud committed against you. Your parents most likely twisted the story and probably added an extra lie or two. But document everything since they now know your new number and your son's existence. They could also harass your wife and her family as well to pressure you. They might even sick your extended family onto you as well. It's worth noting that even if they are religious, at least Christian, the Bible explicitly calls out cheating as one of the few reasons for divorce. Like, straight from Jesus no less. Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my husband to go stay in a hotel with my in-laws and that my mom was going to come back to help me with our new baby? So I, 28 female, just had my husband's, 31 male, and my first child 7 weeks ago. I had a scheduled induction, so my mom came 2 days before I was induced and stayed with us for the first 6 weeks. She just left last week. She was originally going to stay for just 2 weeks after I gave birth, but she stayed longer because my recovery has been very difficult and I just needed the extra help. My in-laws wanted to come visit as soon as the baby was born as well, but they did not want to stay in a hotel. We have a small house with no guest room, and my mother was sleeping on a pull-out bed in our living room, so there was just no space for anyone else. Because of that, they decided not to come visit until my mother left. They arrived 3 days ago, and it has not gone well. Last night, my mother-in-law got very upset with me and told me I was ruining her experience as a first-time grandma and hogging both the baby and her son after she had to wait weeks and weeks to meet the baby. The background here is that the baby has been cluster feeding for the last few days, and I do not feel comfortable breastfeeding in front of my in-laws. So I keep taking the baby to our bedroom or the nursery to feed him. Breastfeeding also makes me hungry and thirsty, so I keep asking my husband to bring me snacks and water. I try to bring the baby out to interact with my in-laws when he stops feeding for a few minutes, but it is very aggravating to keep covering up and going downstairs just for the baby to cry minutes later and want to feed again. My mother-in-law keeps rolling her eyes and getting annoyed each time I say he has to feed again and go back upstairs. She keeps saying things like, "He can't be hungry, he just ate." She thinks I just don't want to let her hold him or play with him. When I ask my husband to bring me snacks and water, she keeps huffing and saying things like, "Okay, father-in-law, and I will just sit here by ourselves." She hasn't offered me any help the way my mother did. My mom would cook for us almost every day. She would take over baby care at night when she was staying here and would bring him to me to nurse. But she would burp and change him and get him back to sleep for me around 2 nights a week, which was a lifesaver. My mother-in-law just keeps telling me to give her the baby when I can't, because he needs to eat, not really doing anything to help, and getting mad that I need my husband's help. I told my husband how I felt after his mom yelled at me last night, and he told me his mom isn't here to help me the way my mom was, because she's not my mom. He said she's here to meet her grandson, and that he wanted to spend the next few days introducing his child to his parents, not just making me snacks and then sitting around watching TV with his parents while waiting for me to finish breastfeeding so they can see the baby. He told me he's been looking forward to his parents meeting the baby since the birth, and it's been disappointing that it's going this way. I told him I feel like I don't know how to please anyone because I can't just not feed my son. I don't want to be miserable, hungry, and thirsty while breastfeeding, and I really don't think making me a snack plate and filling my water bottle takes that long or takes away that much time from my in-laws spending time with him. He's the only person I can ask now that my mom has left, so he needs to help me. I exploded at him and told him they could all just leave and get a hotel room, and my mom could come back to help me, because at least she helps me and doesn't shame me for trying to breastfeed. He told me he couldn't believe I would say that, and that I knew his parents didn't like hotels, but that they would go stay in one then. They all went and got rooms at the Holiday Inn in our town. I spent the night alone with the baby for the first time, got no sleep, and called my mom crying. She's on her way back to help me now, but I feel like I might have made a huge mistake by telling them all to leave. I felt like I was going to scream, and I just wanted my mom to come back. He has not texted or called me to check on me or the baby at all since they left last night. Am I the a-hole for telling them to go to a hotel? Not the a-hole at all. You're 7 weeks postpartum, cluster feeding, sleep deprived, and your mother-in-law is mad you're feeding her grandkid and asking your own husband for water? Your husband's, she's not here to help you, she's here to meet her grandson take, is wild. Helping the recovering mother is literally how you meet and bond with the baby in a sane way. If they'd rather sulk in a Holiday Inn than make you a sandwich, that's on them. It's even wilder that he thinks it's okay that mother-in-law isn't there to help because she's his mom, not his wife's. She should help because she's his mom. It's mind-boggling. Not the a-hole. Your husband is a selfish twat. You just created and birthed an entire new human, and he thinks this time is about him wanting his parents to meet the kid? Are you freaking kidding? His only concerns on Earth right now should be your baby and you. He should not give one flying duck about his parents, how they feel, or how much time they're getting with the baby. He should be falling all over himself to bring you snacks and drinks while you keep the baby alive. The only time anyone should be visiting you for longer than a couple of hours right now is to help. If they're not going to help, they can get the heck out. The fact that your husband left you alone with a newborn while you're recovering to go with his parents would be a divorceable act for me personally. I don't think I would be able to trust that person ever again, especially not in the most vulnerable moments of my life. Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my fiancé that if her mother is going to dictate what I wear for my wedding, then I don't want to get married? Her mother, who is somewhat well off, is paying for a lot of things, including her dress, catering, alcohol, and many other expenses. Her father, who is divorced from her mother, is paying for the venue. My family is paying for the rehearsal dinner, and my dad is paying for the honeymoon trip. Her mother, who is a bit of a control freak, has made it her mission to choose what everyone should wear. She chose my fiancé's dress even though my fiancé wanted a different one. She chose the colors for the groomsmen and bridesmaids, and she is even trying to dictate what color my family should wear. Before she even got involved, I had decided to get married in a brown double-breasted suit that I would have custom-made specifically for me. I already have everything set up and have chosen my bespoke tailor. To give my fiancé a preview of what the suit would look like, I generated an image in the same color and showed it to her to see if she liked it. She does like it and really thinks it will look very good on me and go perfectly with the colors of the venue and what everyone else will be wearing. Apparently, my future mother-in-law does not like the suit, or at least the color, and she has started sending me different colors that she thinks I should choose instead of brown. I am not totally against choosing a different color, but the issue is that her choices are terrible. She apparently wants me to wear a pink skinny suit that looks awful and cheaply made. I told my fiancé that I do not want to wear the suit her mother is suggesting or even asking me to wear, and that was the end of it. But my fiancé says I should consider it since her mom is paying for a lot of things. I told her that if her mom is going to dictate what I should wear at my own wedding, then I do not want to get married. Now she's mad and calling me an a-hole for not considering the opinions of others. Am I the a-hole? Boom, y'all get married, right? Down the line she gets pregnant. Then it's gonna be, my mom doesn't like that name for said baby. She likes this one more. Remember, she did pay for a lot of our wedding. Not the a-hole. If this is the hill you have to die on, so be it. Because if she can run over you now, that's going to be your whole marriage. Good luck and keep us updated. And that suit looks good too. And if we name the baby Ermitrude, Mom will buy a new car that's safer for the baby. Money will be held over OP's head their whole lives together. I think I know why fiancé's dad left. Not the a-hole. The only person that has a say is your future wife. But what country or culture will this be held in? Is pink a traditional color for the groom? Calling me an a-hole for not considering the opinions of others. You did consider and reject the suggestion. It's in the US. Pink is a boyish color for a wedding. I don't see a problem with it if I was going to a casual event, but pink for a formal wedding is terrible. You've got a much bigger problem. Your fiancé still does what her mother tells her to do. I'd end the engagement for sure and work on your relationship if you want to continue to be with her. Her mother's controlling behavior will continue because your fiancé doesn't have the backbone to tell her mother to back the heck up. I mean, your fiancé is going to wear a dress she didn't choose? Seriously? What do you think is going to happen when you buy a home? Apparently, she'll have veto power. What about furnishings and paint color? Will she get to choose all of that if she buys the couch? And what if you have kids? What's happening now will seem like nothing compared to what she'll do with grandchildren. Your fiancé is too immature right now to get married. Last story. Am I the a-hole for not showing more sympathy for my wife when she mangled her hand using a gift from her mother that I told her was dangerous? My wife will never refuse a gift from her mom. Once she accepts it, she makes sure to use it. This has never been a problem before. I don't care that our front yard is infested with gnomes and other ceramic crap. I don't care that we have decorative spoons from around the world. I do care that my mother-in-law gave us a double-edged serrated bread knife. I saw a new handle in our knife block, so I took it out to look at it. It looked dangerous. I tried cutting some sourdough with it and almost cut myself. I told my wife it was dangerous and that we should just put it away. She insisted it was fine and left it. Whatever. I went and told both our kids not to use it. It took 5 days. My wife was cutting a bagel with a Wonder knife and cut the webbing between her thumb and forefinger deep enough that she severed a major tendon. I heard her screaming and ran to help. I wrapped her hand in clean paper towels and then kitchen towels. We only live a few blocks from a hospital, so I didn't call 911. I had our son drive us there while I kept her hand elevated and applied pressure. She had to have surgery on it. I never once said I told you so. I also apparently was not as sympathetic as I could have been. I don't know what else I could have done. I held her hand the whole time. At the hospital, I did all the talking while she was admitted. I did not leave her side until we got home. She said she could feel my judgment. I don't know what that means. I did throw the knife away though. Can anyone please explain what I did wrong? Not the a-hole. Sometimes the looming "I told you so" is worse than just saying the words and getting it out there, between you two. She's in a bad mood because 1. Her hand hurts, probably a lot. 2. She knows she screwed up. 3. She now knows you're right, if she didn't before. And 4. Is waiting for you to gloat and hit her with the "I told you so." Even if you never intend to do that, in her head you probably already have. She also wanted to use the gift the mother gave her, but probably knew it was dangerous. It's a double-edged sword. She just knows you were right and she's projecting. I doubt she stays mad at you. I hope so. And if she does, she needs to have some self-accountability. She doesn't want to be mad at her mother, so you're the next best target. Bingo. Or mad at herself. He's the easy target. OP is merely the target of her repression against her mom. Yikes. No, she doesn't hate her mother. She's just angry that she was cut, and that OP was right all along. She's not mad at her mom. It sounds like you were a good spouse and got your wife the help she needed without throwing any "I told you so's" in her face. However, I bet you were thinking "I told you so" the entire time. She could tell. Can anyone please explain what I did wrong? You threw the danger knife away 5 days too late. I can't help what I think. I'm only responsible for what I say.